with domesticated pets, right? Animals, our cats and dogs, they're getting some of the same diseases we are. You
Yeah.
notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's systemic. It's in the system. It's not genetics because dogs and humans, we're not that related, right? But we're getting the same diseases. We're getting the same tumors. We're getting the same skin issues. So people tell me, yeah, their dog has skin issues, just like psoriasis. And then there's dogs with allergies, right? And so I'm like, hello, if that's not a sign that we're being poisoned with our own food, then that's people got to see that, right?
Yeah. Well, people that tune in here to the Con Family Show every first Wednesday of the month, in this case the third Wednesday because of different circumstances this month, if they're tuning in to when you're in the house, they definitely have an understanding
Yeah,
of how this is
yeah,
all working. And
yeah. So you guys have seen those African safari little documentaries and stuff like that, and they have a little watering hole, where the zebra come up and drink and the elephants come up and drink, and the gazelles and stuff. So everyone's drinking from the same water hole, right? So imagine they did a documentary and they go to that water hole and they got like all sorts of species like dead on the ground there. What would be the first clue to you?
like, maybe you don't want to be drinking that water.
Exactly, right? And so, but that's what's going on with the humans, right? So we've got all the animals that live with us, our children, the young people, the old people, the same thing's going on, right? Everyone's got autoimmune diseases, everyone's got food allergies, everyone's got itchy skin, tumors, heart issues, diabetes. Someone told me their dog wasn't diabetic, but he's got some blood pressure issues. I'm like, what the heck? Their dog, and I was like, holy smokes, that's a big clue, right? That there's something systemic.
Yeah, everything seems to be pretty well systemic nowadays. It's like here in the great state of Utardia, the communists so graciously decided that masks were no longer necessary.
Oh, not the
They
virus,
passed
but
a
the
law. They
government?
actually passed a law that they're no longer necessary. And yet, even since they did that back on the 10th of the month, masks are still, all businesses are still requiring you to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And that was, when I went over to your page this morning to see if I could find something to throw out there to let the kids know that you were going to be in the house this morning, and I saw that thing you did about masks.
Yeah.
How they can't even stop drywall dust. How they're going to stop a virus is, I mean.
But, yeah. Did you see there was the fact checker? The fact checker was some political, not political, some communications or social media graduate, and she's fact checking for this website, and then there's the study of 19 doctors on it, and they said masks are ineffective, but the fact checker said that's false. So you're like, you're putting weight on the one fact checker and like disregarding all these medical people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the world we live in now, craziness.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's crazy what's going on, brother. We're living in a crazy world, and an insane world. It's a good thing we're all crazy that stops us from going insane.
True.
Bless you. So, yeah, what do we want to talk about today, kids? Good morning there, Tree Topper. What's shaking, brother? How's it over there in Butte?
Good morning. Sun shining.
Gonna go smack that little white ball, go get yourself some vaccines?
No, man, it was too cold yesterday, bro.
Too cold today, too?
I think so. I haven't stepped outside, but I'm thinking so.
I'm thinking about being in Montana. It's cold up there usually.
Yeah, even my friends don't like the altitude here. They said they messed up when they came here.
So yeah, Sam, that's I've been telling people I've been raging and having a blast with this. I've got the golf virus, and I gotta go get myself at least 18 vaccinations a week.
That's awesome.
It's the only way to cure the golf virus. Got to go get some vaccinations of hitting that little white ball. You get a par,
my
you're like,
clubs.
oh, I'm cured.
There's my clubs.
When you get a bogey, you're like, I need another vaccination.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So,
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
you're a golfer too, right, Sam?
balance, you know.
You golf, don't you?
I hit the ball around. I wouldn't call it golfing.
Well, we try too, Sam.
Yeah, it's fun. I drove past the golf course and I drove to the parking lot. It was overflowing with golfers in this pandemic in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
Like people parking on, people were like making new parking spaces, and I was like, wow, what kind of pandemic has this much golfing?
And they're all wearing masks when they go into the clubhouse, right?
Yeah.
Probably some of them are even wearing them out on the course.
Yeah, so true.
I've
It's
seen
so
them
true.
wearing them out on the course. It's
Yeah,
mind-boggling, but it just goes to show how powerful the media is. It's
sure.
just powerful.
for sure.
People that don't pay attention to if they're just tuned into their TV, they're going to be scared about things.
Yeah. I
Like,
got I gotta bring up this I gotta find this video clip. I was over at a relative's house, and we were talking about the vaccine, and the parents were saying, oh, the kids are under 18, we're not gonna have them vaccinated, it's too dangerous. But we just got ours like yesterday. So I'm like, what kind of logic is that? What kind of logic is that? And then the other cousin said, I don't know. I don't know about this whole situation. I don't know about, I don't know. He just kept on saying, I don't know, I don't know. But you gotta trust someone in this situation. And I guess in this situation, I gotta trust the government. And I'm sitting there like, are you hearing yourself? So I'm saying like, okay, so both of you are not medical, and I'm the one that used to work at a drug company, and I'm just like sitting there shaking my head at the logic that people use. And why they are all the parents were there. You know why the 4 parents were getting their vaccine? Why?
probably because they're scared.
No, they're booking a trip to Cancun.
Huh.
I'm like, you're gonna take this vaccine just so you can go on vacation? I thought you're taking the vaccine so you don't die. Oh, well,
Yeah.
we don't care about that. We just want to, be able to go to Mexico. I'm like, what kind of logic is that?
Yeah.
So you're gonna shoot something in your blood vessels to be able to go to Mexico. That's okay. I'm like, holy smokes! Like these are my own relatives. I'm just sitting there just gritting because I don't want to. They already know how I feel. Everyone in the world knows how I feel, right? But I didn't. I was just sitting there like just petting the dog, just smiling, just
Yeah.
listening to this conversation, right? Because it's amazing, man. It's amazing how much fear changes fear changes the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's and in my mind, that's kind of the same thing with when it comes to Kangen water. It's we want to be able to share this with people so that they understand what the truth is. And and we're all crazy or whatever. So many people think we're loony bins or crazy or stupid, one of the three or maybe even more. But the cool thing is we've got the truth on our side.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love calling you the samurai, because he slices and dices all the falsehoods with truth, and so that's what we can do is all we can do is get the truth out there, and
Yeah.
people can take it or leave it, right?
Yeah, true. I want to help you guys understand the psychology too, because sometimes you believe in something so much, it's in your heart, right? It's in your being. And then when you share that heart, you share your heart or what's in your heart with someone and it gets stomped on. Like you go to someone with so much compassion and then you really don't want to see them suffer, but they reject you. And sometimes it can hurt, it can, especially if it's family, right? Especially if it's a close friend you've been friends with for 20 years or something like that, right? And they cast doubt on your authenticity, even though they've known you for 20, 30 years. True. So
Yep.
have you guys come across that deep kind of hurt because of rejection from a relative or a good friend?
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so how to avoid that is you have to let go. You have to let go of, it's your mission. Don't let go of what's in your heart, but you have to let go of people, right? And their reactions, and they'll come around. It's kind of like how I raise my children is different than how I raise other children. I mean, how other parents raise their children. Um, you guys have heard of the term helicopter parents? You're watching over your kids, like hovering over your kids all the time, right? What I do with my kids is I treat them like adults.
Yep.
I tell them this knife is very sharp. You're either gonna believe me or you're gonna get cut. One way or another, you're gonna learn it's sharp. So I'm just telling you, it's very, very sharp. So be very careful with this knife. But, and so I just rely on nature to teach, because you can't teach against, um, like this big institution. Like I'm trying to teach something that, like, Coca-Cola has a marketing budget of billions of dollars. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing in Kangen, right? We're trying to teach against big pharma. We're trying to teach against the big monopolies. Are you really gonna program someone with your budget compared to Starbucks? Their marketing, their teaching budget is their marketing budget, right? And so we know that we're not going to be able to reach 99% of people. So I'm out there looking at the 1%.
Right.
Looking for the 1%. So I have to let go of the 99%. I cannot be disappointed 99% by the 99%. Otherwise, it's gonna, I'm not gonna look forward to getting up every morning, because 9 out of 10 people are gonna reject me. I mean, 9.9, 99% of people are gonna reject me. So I've turned that rejection into my fuel. You have to turn that negativity into your fuel that you burn to keep going.
Yeah.
It's been 5 or 6 years since I've been here, JJ. How many scientists, how many former colleagues are on my team?
I don't know. Probably not very many.
2.
Too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're just users, right? They're just users, because here's the thing. It's just, when you wake up to this, JJ, and Paul and then Stephanie there, and who else we got on here?
Tara.
Tara, right? And so when you guys woke up, it was a bit of a rough process, right? It wasn't all roses and flowers waking up, right? You kind of had to, like, holy crap, my world is trash. Or, waking up is not necessarily a pleasant experience, right? You see the reality, you see the good and the bad. Before it was all like unicorns, and it was everything, right? You saw everything as positive. You realize how dark the world is. That's kind of waking up, right? Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see both sides of the coin now. Some people only see the head side of the coin. But waking up entails you seeing heads and tails. You see the dark and the light. And then you choose purposely to go towards the light, right? Most people only see the light, and they're ignorant of the dark in the world. True? Right?
I don't know. I'd almost have to say that most people are in the dark and they can't even see the light.
Possibly.
I
Possibly.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
But they're only one-sided, right? They're all like blissed out and happy-go-lucky until, someone, until nature slams them with cancer, and then they realize, oh crap, this ride ends, you know.
Right.
And so, oh, this ride isn't permanent. You know, I mean, so many people are shell shocked when they get laid off from work, right? They don't have an identity other than, oh, I was, you know, this was my thing. So it's quite interesting. So how you maintain your strength in this is that you have to know that you're trailblazing. You know, you have to know that you're Lewis and Clark. You're going into the wilderness here. You're gonna face beasts and unknown waterfalls, and you're gonna have to climb mountains and stuff. But then that's what people are looking for in adventure. You know, I could have had an easy life, um, working in corporate, just blissed out, right? Right? Because at 38, I had this midlife crisis, and I was realizing, wow, is this the pinnacle of my life? All I got to do is just like, you know, coast, you know. And my coasting was, I'd show up at 10 a.m. at work, and I'd stay to 7 p.m. Right? You know, I'd miss the traffic in the morning coming in. I'd miss the traffic in the evening going home, and work was pretty easy for me. I mean, it's always almost, you know, you get good at something, it's almost mindless. You know, you're almost a robot.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this it? There's no more mystery, no more adventure, and no more challenge. You know, this is kind of boring. You know, it's like you're 2 millionth time playing the game of life, or the game of whatever, Monopoly. After a while, you're like, man, we played this game so long. You know, and so that's why I left, and I found a bigger challenge. I found a bigger Rubik's cube. Right. So this is just entertainment for me. It's
Yeah.
just a ride. Right. And so that's my mentality. Nothing's a challenge. This thing is just a ride. It's like the biggest, Rubik's cube puzzle, and I love that challenge. You know, but if you look at it anything different, it might hurt you. You know, and you might get to the point where you're like, I can't take this pain anymore. You know, I can't take it. You love the machine, but you hate getting the rejection, right? So therefore, you're still using that rejection as a negative. I use the rejection as a positive, right? Because if I got to go through 99 people to find the one superstar, man, bring on number 98, because that means I only got one left to go.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
does that help, guys?
I love that philosophy, Sam. You know, in fact, meeting you and adopting your philosophy has been a life changer for me, because I don't get irritated anymore when people don't want my Kong machine, when they're not interested in it, when they think I'm crazy or stupid or whatever. It doesn't, it's like water off a duck's back, whatever. Okay, fine and dandy, you know. It used to bother the piss out of me, especially when it was the people that I love the most.
Exactly.
My best friends, my family, those people, when they weren't interested and they were rejecting, that was the hardest and the most painful. But now, after basically adopting your same thought process and philosophy about this, I'm like, whatever, on to the next person. I'm
Yeah.
looking for people that are interested, that do have a brain cell, that are interested in putting the most important thing they can ever put in their body in their body. And
Good.
you know, if they're not interested, that's fine. I did my job. And I always refer back to the World Without Cancer book, where he says at the end of the book that you now have the ability to live in a world without cancer. And the only reason you have that ability is because someone out there somewhere was gracious enough to bring this information to your attention. Can you do any less for others? And so my motto for 2021 has been do no less for others.
Yeah.
And it's always really been, ever since I read that book, it's kind of been my motto. That's why I go and eat strangers' apple cores and things like that, so I can get a chance to tell them about the book. And then also I usually get a chance to maybe share Kong and water with them as well. And, you know, but I don't care about whether these people want the water or not. If they don't, they don't. They do, great. but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it or get emotional about it or anything, because I've adopted the samurai mentality.
You know, and what's, I guess, like what has been your guys' journey? Because you're still here, like Paul, Tara, Stephanie, you guys are still here. So you guys must have had some kind of mental shift, right? In your belief or the way you approach this thing. But you know, in the beginning there was some struggle, right? There was some personal pain in like getting the rejection. So why are you guys still here? What happened? What changed in your mind years later, right? Because usually people don't last, you know, but maybe 6 months and then they quit the business, right? Even though they love they drink the water like every day, but they quit the business, right? So why are you guys still here? Paul?
Because I know it works. Because I know it's the proper hydration.
Right?
Because everything I've learned from you guys.
Yeah. So you know the absolute truth, right? And so if you know the absolute truth, do you need to be convinced of anything else? Or
No.
exactly. Right? And so you don't need to be convinced, right? But someone who doesn't know the truth, they need to be convinced.
Yeah.
Right? And if they need to be convinced, we shouldn't get frustrated if they need to be convinced.
Well, and then I get fortune cookies that say time is precious, but truth is more precious than time. I got that last night.
Yeah.
At the Asian buffet.
Yeah. And that's truth, right? That's how you
I
look
knew
at
JJ would love it.
it.
I do love it.
Yeah. So Tara, what about you? You're muted there.
Yeah, I believe in it too. I use it all the time. It's just you got to have sympathy and compassion for people and let them learn about it. You have to have patience for them. It takes everybody time to learn it in their own time.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. They have to learn it as they want, and they're gonna have questions. So you can't push it.
Yeah. So
Sympathy.
so is it easier for you to go and approach family or a stranger now, or is there still some a little bit hesitancy?
I'm still hesitant. I'm not a social person, but I will bring it up in a conversation if it's there.
Mhm.
I'm not one that just jumps in, but I'm an introvert. So I push myself. I'm getting better at it.
Mhm. Good. What about Stephanie, if you're there? I know you, I think Stephanie was driving, right?
I think she's at Sam's
I'm in Lowe's now, and I stick with it because I know it's the best water in the whole world.
Good.
Yep.
So I want to help you guys have that breakthrough, right? Because we're in this to change the world, right, JJ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and we change the world one family at a time, one cup of antioxidant water at a time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm purposely going out there and I'm a talent scout. I'm looking for people that are social. I'm looking for people that are influential. I'm looking for people that have a good time in life, right? And I want to help them do more of that, right? I'm actually an introvert, right? It might shock you guys, but I'm actually an introvert. I went into research because I could work quietly behind the scenes. I didn't want to be in front of the in sales and marketing or whatever in science. I wanted to be on the research end and play with the robots, play with the machines. But I have such a great time pretending to be an extrovert that now I'm an extrovert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a great example of how people can change. You know, when you learn something different, it tends to change you somehow.
Yeah.
It takes
Change you for the
practice.
worse or change you for the better. And in this case, it's obviously a massive change for the better because
Yeah. Yeah.
We need you out there being an extrovert.
And you guys see me. You guys see me like that. It's like, where in the world is Sam today? It's like, where's Waldo?
Well, I went out and I hooked up with you, Sam. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. And that was a fun experience, right? Terry, we went to, what was it? Mystical
Magic-
Where?
mystical wares. Yeah. So, that's out of my comfort zone, but I did it.
Yeah. And so it was
And
a
I
good
had
time,
fun.
right?
And
Yeah.
I met Jillian too, which is another person I didn't never meet either. So,
Yeah. And so this is our new once you do that and you realize, wow, that wasn't a bad experience.
right.
And then you do it again, and after a while you're like, that's how you stretch your boundaries.
Exactly.
Because I live in Bothell here. When I go on vacation, I don't want to go to downtown Bothell and go sightseeing.
No.
You know what I mean? If you live in
Right.
LA, you don't want to take a week vacation in downtown LA, especially now, right? You want to go someplace exotic, someplace new, someplace adventurous, someplace you've never been, right? Well, guess
Mhm.
what? Every day that you guys wake up, what's on the outside the door, outside your bedroom door, outside your house door, is another adventure. And
Yep.
that's how I look at life. That's why you guys always see me. Where in the world is Sam today? Is he at some waterfall? Or what ski resort he's at? Or who's he skiing with today? And you're like, man, this guy knows everyone. This guy meets everyone, because life is just a ride, right? And so it's such a blessing, you guys. So, but that's just my whole mindset. We talk a lot about mindset in this business. My mindset is, I'm gonna meet a ton of people. I'm gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna impact a few people, and then together we're gonna impact a few more people, and pretty soon we're gonna impact 1 million or 10 million or 1 billion people, right?
Right.
But I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, just like everyone else. But I have a different mentality,
Yeah.
right?
I
So
love your mentality, brother. It's refreshing. It's motivating. It's exciting. It's transforming.
Mhm.
Literally, your mentality has helped transform my life.
Yeah.
And I will forever be grateful for that. And yeah, it's interesting. And like Daniel DeMccauley is so famous for saying, this is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it.
Mhm.
And things like this today, these are personal development moments that give us a chance to learn and give some new thought processes. And just that's one thing beautiful about when you come in here, you always give us something to think about. Every month when it's over with, we've gotten something to like, yeah, what a great concept. And yeah, I could do that. That kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
You guys have played Monopoly, right? And you get the Monopoly money,
Mhm.
right? And you're
It's been a
going
long
around
time.
the square, you're going around, go around, go and collect 200 and stuff like that. So when you land on these properties and you've got this Monopoly money, you're thinking, St. Charles Place, should I buy that? Vermont, whatever, Vermont or the electric company, should I buy that? Because you've got this Monopoly money, right? It's not like a personal risk. It's just Monopoly money. It's like play money, right? So you go for it because it's just a game. It's just entertainment, right?
Right.
And so the risk is very low. It's not like you're gonna lose an arm. You're gonna lose some Monopoly money, maybe. Maybe no one's gonna land on your Illinois Avenue there, right? Okay.
Well, how about your good friend that gets mad and flips the board upside down because he lost all his Monopoly money?
And then he didn't have a good game.
He was
Right.
madder than hell.
Yeah. Right. But the thing is, maybe they think the game is real, right? Maybe he thought his Monopoly money was his real money and he got really frustrated. Maybe he thought he was at a casino.
Right.
You use real money. You can't use Monopoly money at the casino, right? Right.
Right.
But how I look at this, JJ, is this whole life, it's just a game, right? The only thing that is real is your time, right? I mean, is the news real?
Yeah. No.
No, it's all like propaganda these days. Is the food real?
No.
No, it's all food coloring. You know, unless you grow your own food, right? I mean, is going to the job and making a salary and then is that all real or is that just a hamster wheel? Right? So I look at this whole life as just a big game. I'm gonna die. The game's gonna end, right? But because the game ends, the game is more valuable, right?
What a
Because
great
if
way.
the game was, you know, like if like if you knew you only had 10 more years to live, man, those 10 years are precious, right?
Man.
Right? So I know that this game ends at like 80 or maybe 90 or luckily 100 years old. That makes every year precious,
Right.
especially since I knew that I went into a coma and almost died at 42. Now I know for real, right, Paul? I know for
Yeah.
certain, like this water is good. I
Yeah.
know for real that this game ends. It's not theoretical anymore,
Right.
right? I've attended so many funerals and I said, man, they ain't coming back. That's for real. Like it's not a theory that this life is short. No, life is short. It's not a theory anymore, right? But so that's why I with my time, with your guys' time, you've got to send it. You've got to go for it. You've got to play big because if you don't, this thing called regret is gonna bite you. It's gonna bite you so hard, you know, because you're gonna run out. Like you guys see me skiing and snowboarding and doing, you know, doing all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that window of opportunity will close.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm on the ski hill, I don't see many 70-year-olds. I see a lot of teenagers, middle-aged people, and young kids. I don't see many, you know, I don't see many people above 60. Once in a while, I'll get a 73, you know, because I scan their ticket or whatever. And then I see someone that's 73 or someone that's like 75 come through, but I don't see anyone above 80.
Yeah.
Right. So me sitting at 50, I'm like, yeah, that window is going to close for me too. So what am I going to do? I'm
I
going
can see you up there skiing when you're 100.
so it's just so that's why I want you to guys to realize that you never know when when this ride is going to end. Like who really knows? I mean, we're planning on 80, right, JJ?
At least.
80. Shoot, man, you know, but I didn't plan on almost being taken out at 42. No one knows, right? And so we're dealing with uncertainty, and uncertainty can be kind of scary, but I love uncertainty. I love uncertainty because uncertainty holds the chance. That's why people play the lottery, don't they? That's why you get those scratch tickets, right? Well, I don't get them, but a lot of people get those. They enjoy the uncertainty. But if you wouldn't buy a lottery ticket, it was a guaranteed lose, would you?
Mm,
Right? If you knew like 100% with clinical data and experience that every lottery ticket was a loser, no one would buy lottery tickets, right?
Right.
They only buy the lottery tickets because there's a slim chance. I mean, it's ever so slim, right? But that's why they sell lottery tickets, right? So I look at every person that I meet as just like a lottery ticket. This could be the one.
Yeah. That's a great. I love that. I love uncertainty because uncertainty holds the chance.
Yep.
What a great concept. You know, yeah, you never know what's going to happen today, but you have a chance to go make something happen. You have
Yeah.
a chance to go see what's going to happen.
Yep. And that's,
Most people are really afraid of uncertainty, and they don't want to do anything that's out of their norm.
yeah. I mean, if it's uncertain, if you're truly afraid of uncertainty, then why are you driving down the road with the only thing separating you and the car going in the opposite direction, a yellow line or a white strike line? That's a lot of trust. That's a lot of uncertainty, right? And so now people are like, well, this pandemic might be real, so I'm gonna I don't know about that uncertainty. I want to avoid that uncertainty by getting this uncertain vaccine. I'm like, two uncertainties don't make it right.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely don't make it certain.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. So I believe Melissa's in the house here with us today. She's just got that beautiful sunset from her property there in Puerto
Where is she?
Rico.
Yeah,
Where is it? It's in
Costa
Good
Rica.
Costa
morning.
Rica.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning there, Hashi.
How are you guys?
Great.
We are doing wonderful. We're getting to visit with Sam again today for our little monthly hoo-ha that we have. And it's always awesome getting to listen to the things that Sam has to share with us. And so I was just, you're there, so I thought I'd bring you up and say, do you have any comments? Do you have any thought process about what Sam's saying? And then also earlier, Sam asked a question to all of us. He basically said, you've been in this for a long time, or for whatever period of time you have, and most people only last for like 6 months with this. They love the water, but they get tired of the rejection and that kind of stuff, and so they just quit the business after usually around 6 months. What is your thought processes about that? Why are you still involved with this?
Well, first of all, I love Sam, and we have our own awesome conversation. So glad I could hop on this morning and be a part of this. The water, man. I cannot go a day without talking about this water, because for me, it literally took my life from death to alive and gave me one back. So for me, any opportunity that I can share about this water is an opportunity I don't waste. Whether it's eating better on the way that it can clean our food, whether it's detoxing our bodies from free radicals, and especially right now, I truly feel with everything that's going on, this water is putting a barrier in our bodies that's protecting us from everything that's going around. And I feel very, I know privileged is a shitty word to use, but it truly is a privilege to choose my health over not, right? And having the opportunity to have this water in my life, I would be selfish not to share it with people and not to bring that awareness to people, especially right now. And so that's just what I do. So any opportunity that I see somebody searching for an answer for something, or making a comment about something, I always bring it back to water, because water is the baseline of our life, of our existence. We are water beings. And if we aren't hydrated, if we aren't at that optimal range, then how does our body actually survive and fight things off? And so for me, it's really just about bringing awareness to how important water is in our life. And for me, I was never told, for how many times I've been to the doctor, for how sick I was throughout my whole entire life, starting at 7 years old. I was never told the importance of water. I was told, hey, drink some Gatorade for some electrolytes if you feel like you need some boost, right? And it's like, why do people not understand how toxic that is for our bodies? And so that's why I also think water demos are so important, because it gives you the visual. And I'm a visual learner, and so are a lot of people. And so if you can bring that awareness and actually show it in front of their face, it kind of clicks that aha moment of like, oh, okay, I get it now, I see. And that's why this water is so amazing, because there's so many demos that you can do to bring awareness. And there's always something that you can bring it back to with this water. And so for me, it's just bringing awareness, and however, whenever I can, I'm a water snob. I'll be the first one to admit it. I take my water everywhere. I'm the first one to say, nope, I don't need your water at my table if I'm at a restaurant. I do a water demo sitting at the restaurant. Like, I like to bring awareness to people everywhere I go. So it's just about opening your eyes. You know what I mean?
So Melissa, so you stepped into Kangen because you had the real change. So it stopped being theoretical in your mind and it became a reality, right? And so that's your mindset. It's like you're dealing with reality. You're dealing with truth now. You're not dealing with a theory of truth or clinical data or a concept or a theory or a hypothesis. You literally put this into your body and it changed you, right?
Absolutely.
And so you can speak from that.
Absolutely. Within 2 weeks, I was a night and day different person. So absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think we all have to recognize that that's why we're still here, because we experienced something, right? And the people that haven't had that experience that we had, they're not going to get it because it takes experiencing something, right? It's not a theory. It's not a guess. It's not the latest strategy. No, this is beyond strategy. This is a strategy is like how you go and figure things out. No, this is figured out.
Yep. Which is why it's so important to share the water whenever you can, because when they have the opportunity to drink it firsthand, they get to experience it in their bodies, and they get to witness the feeling of hydration that they've never felt before, and they have to go, oh my, okay, what did I do different? Okay, I changed my water and that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. So I'm dealing, so as a scientist, well, recovering scientist, I guess. No, not guess. Definitely a recovering scientist. I get asked, so show me the data, and so I've gotten to the point where I said, do you really want more data? Because you've been looking at data for 20 years. Do you really want more data, or are you ready for like something that to actually happen? And I just asked him, is that what you're really looking for? Because you're asking for data because you're used to asking for data, right? Or is it
Right.
you want a research paper to read? Like you don't have enough. You have too much time, and you need to read some more research papers,
I
right?
kind of go about it like, do you want to keep reading other people's testimonials who have the same symptoms as you do, or
Exactly.
do you want to start relieving your symptoms? Like, you know what I mean? Are you ready to step forward and change your life, or are you just wanting to keep watching everyone else change theirs first?
Yeah.
And I get pretty direct with people too when they keep coming back and around asking the same questions month after month, and it's finally like, yo, are you ready to just step forward and do this? And then, hey, if you don't like it after 30 days, return the machine and get your money back. It's that easy.
Yeah.
But I've never had anyone turn back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. It just that's the mentality we have now, right? And we have to have this to keep going, because I'm not dealing with, for me personally, I'm not dealing with a theory that life is short, right? I'm not dealing with a theory or a concept or a Hallmark card that enjoy your life. It's beyond the Hallmark card. Life is short. I've gone to enough funerals. Health is precious. I almost lost my life, so I know this for a fact. Like, and I said this before. I tell my kids, hey, this knife is extremely sharp. So we just got a set of like whatever Cutco knives or something like that. And so I'm like, wow, these things are extremely sharp. So I told my kids, this knife is extremely sharp. Figure it out. And they're gonna figure it out. And I tell them that, your happiness is your gold. Your happiness is your happiness is your life, right? But I'm not dealing with a theory of happiness. It is, right? Either you are excited to get up in the morning or you're not.
Absolutely. And what I love about Enagic is They don't just go after two different things, right? Your health and your finances. No, it's mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, finances. But in reality, it really is, it has to start with your mind. And when you're in that certain mindset, you are open to see the experience, and you are open to hearing the testimonials and then taking the step forward to bring it into your life. And if your mind's not set, you always have questions, and you always will doubt, and you always will fight against the truth, right?
Mhm.
Because you're asleep and your awareness hasn't been brought to reality yet. And the reality is the truth behind this water, the truth behind your existence, the truth behind who you are in this state of being and in this time and space reality, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And so, what I was sharing with the people, with the audience here is how to get into that state of flow, right?
Mhm.
That mindset where you're going along with life, you're enjoying the life, you're enjoying the ride. And so you stop resisting, right? It's the resistance that bears the fruit of struggle, right?
Yep.
When we resist something, that's when we struggle. I mean, try to resist gravity. I mean, that's, sooner or later it's going to hit you, literally,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So you just have to accept, okay, well, gravity is pretty real, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to go skiing, right? Oh, so a really good analogy here, guys. When I first became a ski instructor, and I had been skiing for like 25, 30 years, and my ski instructor was a 70-year-old guy that had hip replacement surgery or something like that. And I think 40 something, 41, 42 at the time. No, maybe 38. But anyways, he was, there's like 12 students, right? And we all think we're hotshot skiers. And he says, I'll meet you guys down at the lodge down there and then try to keep up. And I'm like, come on, old man, try to keep up. I'm half your age, right? And you got like a bad hip and stuff. The dude bombs the hill like he's an ex-ski racer, but with the smoothness and the efficiency of someone who's had decades of ski racing. And you're like, holy smokes, this guy is a rocket. And so we're all trying to keep up with him without wiping out, right? And so we get down to the bottom, and he asked me, Sam, I just made you come down the hill. Why do you look like I just made you run up the hill? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, breathing, right? Because trying to keep up with this guy. And he goes, why are you breathing so hard? He's like, he had his little notebook out and he was taking notes on us as we were skiing down because he beat us down there. And he said, he asked me two questions. Which way do you go when you want to go fast? I said, that's easy. I go down the hill. Okay. And he asked me, which way do you go when you want to go slow? And I was like, what are you talking about? I put on the brakes. It's go down the hill or put on the brakes. Right? And he goes, no, you go up the hill. If you turn up the hill and you keep turning, the hill will slow you down. Right? So you got unlimited gas and you've got unlimited brakes. And that's how he skis. He skis like he's got unlimited acceleration and he's got unlimited stopping power because he uses gravity. And here I was doing wall sits on the off season to build up my quads. I'm fighting gravity. So I was resisting gravity all the time. That's how I skied. Go fast, resist gravity. Go fast and resist gravity. Pretty soon my legs wore out.
Right.
Right? So I got into the state of flow by started using gravity. I stopped resisting it because gravity is a pretty heavy force. It's on 24/7, guys. Right? So I got into the flow of using gravity. Right? And so that's the same thing. This is what we have. And so if you suffer, that means you have resistance somewhere inside you.
Yeah.
Okay? If you have pain, you definitely have some resistance inside you somewhere. But you've got to flip that coin and start using that as fuel. right? And so that's, I mean, I know Melissa speaks about this all the time, right, Melissa? You help people break through,
That's right.
and it's just state of flow.
It was sure a pleasure meeting, Melissa.
That was the best breakfast. I loved that morning, and I can't wait for more. Honestly, that was great conversation, man.
I've been talking about you since we met for breakfast, sister.
Yeah, I saw that picture of you guys all down there. It's like, hey, what's going on? Like, why am I not there?
I know, Sam. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
We gotta get down to Utah here pretty soon.
You know what was classic was the guy that was sitting behind us that
Oh,
when he got
geez.
up to leave, he said, "Oh, I heard everything you guys were talking about. I agree." You know, but he's wearing his mask. Oh,
And of
yeah,
course, Jay had to point that out
of course. 'Cause
verbally.
I can't stand wearing masks. It drives me absolutely bonkers. And I'm like, whatever, you're going to do what you're going to do. But it's still just, it's so incredibly stupid that I have a hard time with really incredible stupid. I mean, people can be stupid. I can be stupid too. I've done lots and lots and lots of stupid things in my life. There's no doubt about it. But when you get to the just absolutely blatant stupid, and that's going on in just droves right now. It's crazy. I like when it gets so blatant, it's kind of hard to ignore it. And I just like whatever. I'm getting better at it. I still keep trying to utilize the samurai theory of life and go whatever, do what you want, whatever. I'm just here to help if I can by giving you the truth and giving you good information. But whatever you do, that's your choice. You do what you're gonna do. I mean, and quite frankly, all the mask wearing probably wouldn't bother me so much if all these knuckleheads didn't expect me to do it too.
Yeah. Well,
If
they can
they're-
expect, but they'll be disappointed, right, JJ?
Yeah, amen. Especially with me because I don't put them on ever. I don't care. I'm not putting them on. I do have a face shield though that I'll wear, that one of those plastic face shields, and it has a thing on top of it that says masks are stupid.
Here's the thing. Here's the mindset I want you guys to have, right? Be gravity. Be gravity. Be that undeniable force, right? Instead of you resisting the force, you be the force that people resist, right? Because in resistance is their struggle, right? If you let's say if someone does something wrong for you to you, and you have this you don't forgive them, right? So you carry this burden that they did you wrong, right? And you carry that for years, and so that lack of acceptance, that lack of forgiveness, tarnishes the relationship, right, guys? So you don't accept it. So they made a mistake, they did you wrong, right? But then every time you meet them, that's still in your heart, right? And so you're still resisting them as a person, and it comes out, right? And so I want you guys to flip to the other side. I want you guys to go into total acceptance and don't resist. And you are the truth. You are the force. You literally are gravity, and everyone else is trying to fight gravity and trying to figure it out, right? And so therefore you live more free, and everyone else is resisting, right? So you're flipping the coin here. You're in with the flow now. You don't resist. Everyone else is resisting, right? And so you're in this state of flow, this mindset.
Yeah.
So life is easy. Life is just that like my sometimes my wife and I will get into an argument, and then like 2 minutes later I go and I kiss her on the cheek and I hug her, and she's still in that argument mode, and I've like dude, that was like 2 minutes ago. Like you still living there? And she's like, who the hell? Like, who the hell are you? This argument's not done yet. It's like, well, I'm done with it. You
And
know,
let's put that a different way in different words is be the change you want to see in the world. So
Yeah.
we lead by example, because if people aren't seeing us be the example, then how do they step out of their comfort zone to step into that space? So when we
Exactly.
are the change we want to see, it allows others to find that within themselves to step and be that too. So that's
Exactly.
why it's so important to speak your truth and show up in who you are all the time, no matter who you lose in your life, because you gain so many more incredible people in your life by staying true to who you are, by living in your truth, by honoring that space that feels good. Because when you're a follower, let's say, or when you're doing something because you feel like you're pressured to do it, you're not living in that space of true, authentic self. You are allowing that to be dimmed down. And no different than, let's say, you have an acidic body. Well, no different. That's the same way. So our mind creates a toxic environment when we follow, when we don't lead, when we don't step into our truth, when we don't own who we are, when we don't own our power, when we give it away to someone else because we're afraid we might offend them, or we might offend our family or people that we thought were true people in our lives.
Mhm.
Like, I can't tell you how many people have just stepped completely out of my space when I decided, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to live in that toxic space anymore. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be involved with this group. Because when you feel it draining on you, that's when you really have to say, okay, do I want to be a leader in this space and time and environment? Like, did I choose to come to this planet at this time to follow around and live in the sleeping state where I am just, one mindset, stuck in the trance? Or did I come here to show up fully in my light, to lead people, to awaken people, to speak my truth, to get involved with things that I know are important? And that's why this water came into all of our lives, is because we are here to be leaders, and we are here to show people there is another way. And it starts with our mind, it starts with our health. And when we're open up to that, everything else starts to awaken too, because we're not in that state of sleep. We're not in that state of follow. We're not in that state of dissonance, right? We're actually in that state of structure and leadership. And so it's just really, really important to be the change that you want to see. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be quiet now.
Love that.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And so, we and it's sometimes it's validating for us to get upset. So I sometimes, and I told Melissa this the other day. I said, I have to be more like her, that she's always so positive and she's always in state of flow. Like I transitioned from state of flow, like my mind right now in this conversation, I'm in a state of flow right now. But I'm not on weed or alcohol or anything, and I can just get there. But I would love to be in the state of flow all the time and stop the resisting. But sometimes the resisting validates my belief. And so sometimes I slip back into that negativity, and I just go off on science and say, this is so, people are being so stupid today or something like that, right? And so it validates my ego, right? And so if I could completely let go of that, then that would be state of flow all the time, right? But I feel kind of lucky that I can transition back and forth. I can go back and forth between the flow state. I mean, I get along. I have friends that are monks, right? And they're very spiritual, right? And then I have friends that are just like grinding it out. And I can relate to a lot of people, right? And so it's kind of nice, because sometimes if you're too far evolved or too far of letting go, you lose relation to a lot of people that are still stuck, right? And so it's good that you guys can handle this conversation. but it's also good that guys can see that there's people struggling with the same things, right? And so this ability to elevate your energy, into love, right? And elevate and lower your energy into, people are living in despair and fear, right? That you can transition, but you get to choose your level, right? You don't have to always live below the line, below the frequency, right? Like, I'll go down there just to test the water out and see how, so I can relate to people, right? But I'm not making it a zip code down there. My zip code is somewhere up here in between, happy and joy, somewhere around here. That's my natural state. But I have the ability to deep down and really connect with someone in their suffering, right? And then my goal is to pull them out, right? But just don't live down there. Don't live down in your lack of confidence, because you guys are walking truth. You're still here. Tara, you're still here. How many years you been involved?
5.
5 years. You're still here, right? Only the strong survive. So you must be one of the strong.
Still
Right?
hanging in there.
Yeah.
Still moving slowly.
Yeah. Don't hang in
Got
there.
you guys though.
Dominate. Right? You have
Yep.
the truth on your side. You have simplicity on your side. It's beyond data what you guys have, right? Literally, it's beyond data. We're into testimonials, like Melissa said. We're into, like, man, this thing is a miracle device, right? Miracles are
Yep.
beyond data. Miracles is like when you surprise a doctor beyond his intellect. He says, wow, it's miraculous, because you've gone beyond his education, right? And so now you're in the miracle world. That's where we live.
Yeah. I love it. What a great conversation today, as usual. We're an hour in, so I
Yeah.
think this part of the conversation is a great place to conclude today's show. It's been really awesome. I'm gonna make sure to take this particular show and share it out to a bunch of the different distributor sites and such, because this kind of mindset is something that every distributor needs. We all need to hear this kind of stuff, and this is just really powerful stuff. It always is. When we have the samurai in the house, it's always powerful. It always is. And this particular episode, having Melissa come in as a kind of a special guest, a surprise guest, and it's awesome. And so, what a great
What a blessing.
time today. I really enjoyed this, and I want to get this out there and let people know that we have these conversations every month with Sam. Normally, just so everybody knows, we have these conversations on the first Wednesday of every month. And Sam is gracious enough to come in here every month and give us an hour or so of his time. And we're, I can't tell you how blessed we are and how blessed I feel, and how much love I feel for you, Sam, and what you do, and how much of an influence you have been in my life. And I really appreciate that you do this every month. It's something that I look forward to every month. And every month I come out of it with something better. I always come out of it crying, like I always do. I'm a big baby. I even cried at the end of Rocky V. It's kind of funny. My wife and I, our first date was the movie The Bear. And that movie, at the end of that movie, I was just bawling up a storm. And she said that was, I literally just fell in love with you right then and there, seeing you cry the way you did over that. And but yeah, I'm a big boob, but I get sentimental about things, and I especially when I can feel the truth and feel the love in the message that I'm hearing. And that's why I always get choked up whenever you come on the show, Sam. And
Thank you, brother. Thank
so
you.
I really love all you guys so much. And before we head out, unless anybody has any other question or something for Sam that relates to today or anything else, I'd like to give us a little closing prayer, and let's get on with rocking the world. Our Father in heaven, I want to thank you once again for another amazing day where you have once again allowed me to wake up and open my eyes and my heart and my mind and my soul so that I can get a chance to go out and help other people do the same. I want to say thank you so much for Sam, and thank you for keeping him out there, keeping him healthy, keeping him doing what he's doing, and taking care of him on a daily basis so that he can continue to come in and help take care of us. And I want to thank you for Stephanie and Melissa and Paul and Tara, and for all of the rest of this incredible family of people, for Mr. Oshiro, for all the people working behind the scenes, all the truckers that are out there delivering the Kong machines out there so that people can have them and be part of this amazing gift. Please take care of all those truckers. Oh, the trucker, Scotty and Rodgar and Sylvia and Elvis and all the rest of them. You know what they're doing, Lord. They're out there dodging all them damn anesthesia, and you know how difficult that is. You're the one who created them, so please take care of them. Please make it so they can get home safely to their houses and then get out there and do it again, because without them out there delivering the goods, we're all at a standstill. And I just want to thank this entire family of people and ask that you will give them all blessings, give them all the courage, give the people that have a chance to watch this video when it gets out there, that they will take these lessons and this information to heart and utilize it, because it is the truth. We are the truth. We are gravity. And let's go influence somebody and do it without resistance. All of this, Lord, I'm asking you humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, my Savior, our Savior. Amen.
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 Thank you so much, JJ.
You guys, I love you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again next month, Sam, if not sooner. And to all of you, get out there, make it a great day. Get out there, change the world, starting with your own. And do not forget your hugs, kids. These things are important. You got to have your hugs. Hoo-dee-hoo.
Thank you so
All right.
much, guys. Have
Love
a
you
great
guys.
day.
Making
Right
it awesome
on.
one. Give the kids a hug for me there, Sam. Tell them I said hooty-hoo. All right, buddy.
All right, bye,
Bye
guys.
for now, kids.
Love you all.
Bye.
Make it a great one. Thanks for coming in,
You
Melissa.
too.
Sure was good seeing you.
Thanks,
You're
Melissa.
very welcome.
Melissa.
Thanks for having me. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
You
You
do the same.
too.
Bye for now, everybody.